It's one of the east side neighborhoods with a lot of character. Today I'm going to show you around Alberta Street a little bit and the neighborhood, both north and south of Alberta Street, to give you an idea of what the houses look like. Alberta Street is one of these areas in the Northeast that has a ton of stuff to do. A lot of restaurants, bars, shops. I just walked past the Alberta Street Co-op. It's a really cool place. If you already live in Portland and you're thinking about making a move, I'd highly consider taking a look at the Alberta Street area. If you're moving in from out of town, I highly recommend that you check it out. Today we're going to take a drive down Alberta Street so you can see what it looks like, see what the shops are, restaurants, bars, etc. We'll also drive north and south of Alberta Street so you can see what the neighborhood looks like. Alberta Street is one of the main areas with lots of restaurants and bars that you absolutely have to know about before you move to Portland. And in fact, if you already live in Portland and you don't come over this way, I highly recommend that you come check it out. There's a variety of restaurants, bars, and things to do, even some art galleries. On the left is a place called the By and By. It's a vegan restaurant. On the left, right here in front of us, is a new food cart pod with a variety of food. The Alberta Street Pub, which in my opinion has the best tater tots in Portland, possibly the world. And back to the left is the radio room. Both of those places are awesome. I like them quite a bit. On the left is Donnie Vegas. Now, they are no culinary giants unless you happen to like hot dogs and chili dogs, in which case you absolutely have to check them out too. Doggy daycare. On the left here is Forge. They have hot Pilates, hot yoga, and of course, Electric Lettuce, one of Portland's many weed stores. Another food cart pod. This is an area with a variety of shops and restaurants and things to do. I've been to the place on the right here across the intersection, Fuel, quite a few times for brunch. It's a great place. Just past the intersection here, 15th, which you could take a right and head down to Co-op grocery store. On the left is another food cart pod. This is one of the handful of food cart pods on Alberta Street. I'm at 15th and Alberta Street. There's about a half a dozen food carts here. There's African cuisine, sushi, Thai food, and this one actually has a beer garden. I'll show you in a second. It's a really cool place. They are open year-round, this food cart pod is, including the beer garden. After going out to work out at night, after dark, I personally have sat at the beer garden in the rain and had a porter. It's a brilliant thing. It's one of the things I can imagine doing only in Portland. Let's take a look at this place. It's one of my favorite places in Portland. They have about 10 taps here. Some of the beers are from Portland. Some of the rest of the beers are from around the Pacific Northwest outside of Portland. I highly recommend stopping by. It really has a lot going on. It's an area where if you don't know this part of town, say if you live in Beaverton, Gresham, wherever you happen to live, and you want to get out and check something new out, I highly recommend coming to Alberta Street. If you're moving into town, this is one of those areas on the east side you definitely need to be aware of and consider moving to if you like to be able to be within walking distance of a whole slew of things to do. On the right is a vegan deli, Ben and Esther's, Petite Provence on the right, Trade Up Music. Like I said, there's a whole variety of restaurants, bars, and things to do. And not to yuck anybody's yum, but it's not the sort of place, given that Portland is an old established town, city, it's not the sort of place where you see strip malls and Chili's, Buffalo Wild Wings, and things like that, which I enjoy all those too, but it really has its own local character. All the buildings are different, one to the next. Here's an American Legion hall with a curved roof, for example. Most of these buildings have been around for quite a while. Pine State Biscuits, which is amazing. That's a place you absolutely have to go to. And then on the left is Bear Lick Brewing. It's one of their 3 locations I think they have now in the Portland area. Nectar, another weed store. Okay, so far we've seen 2 weed stores, no Starbucks, no McDonald's. We're gonna keep track. The old Rexall drugstore. It has a restaurant in it. This neighborhood's seeing some new construction too. We're passing another food cart pod. Some more restaurants, including a couple more Thai places. In that first food cart pod that we drove past, there's a Thai restaurant. There are a couple of Thai restaurants here on the left. Some nightlife. I want to turn north of Alberta Street here to give you a shot of, give you a look at what it's like over here on the north side of Alberta Street. All the houses around here have quite a bit of character. In the neighborhood, there are a handful of churches too. Here's an old church that's been here for a while. I'm going to take a left here to show you what it looks like down this way. We're just 1 block north of Alberta Street now. We are heading west. We're about ready to pass 26th Street. We're on Sumner Street. In this neighborhood, predominantly what you're going to see is single-family homes with some duplexes. There are some fourplexes too, triplexes. There's some new construction, and then craftsman-style houses, 4 squares, etc. Here's a small apartment complex. It looks like a 4plex. I didn't add up the unit numbers as I was driving by, but this gives you a flavor of what it's like here in the neighborhood. This area, Alberta Street, covers a number of different neighborhoods here. It's not just the Alberta Arts District, which is generally what people refer to this area as. If you were to look on the map on Google, you'll see that it covers a few different neighborhoods, including King and Concordia. It spans, I think, 3 different or 4 different named neighborhoods, this area that I'm covering, which is roughly between 33rd and about 9th on Alberta Street. And just north of it, like I said, right now we're on Sumner Street heading west. Here in a block or two, I'll take a left and get us back to Alberta Street so you can see where we come out. There definitely is a mix of houses here. There's some older houses. There are some that have been completely renovated. There's some new construction. And if you like to live in a neighborhood in Portland where there are tons of restaurants, bars, things to do, this is definitely one of the ones you should consider if you're moving to Portland, or if you're already in Portland and you're considering making a move. I would highly recommend checking this out. And up here on the right is another Thai restaurant and a couple of blocks. There are a couple of Mexican places. TC O'Leary's is up here in the next block. It's a really cool bar run by an Irish guy who was on a TV series in Ireland before he moved to the US. The Alberta Rose Theatre is on the right. On the left is one of the few new buildings on Alberta Street. There are a couple that are going in, but otherwise it has a variety, a whole slew of restaurants, bars, and things to do, all within walking distance of the neighborhood. Here in a minute, I'm going to take a right and go through the neighborhood a little bit to give you an idea of what it looks like right around Alberta Street. within a few blocks, within walking distance of the street and the bars and restaurants, etc. This is one thing to know about a lot of neighborhoods in a lot of cities, established neighborhoods, and also including here in Portland, is in the established neighborhoods, some of the streets are quite a bit more narrow than what they would be in a subdivision. Say if you were to move out to Hillsborough or Beaverton, the streets are going to be wider, the front yards are going to be bigger, in quite a few of them anyway. That's not always the case, but you'll also notice here the houses have a lot of character. There are no cookie cutter houses. They all are quite a bit different one to the next, except that in so far as the architecture here for the most part is 4 square houses, craftsmen's, and so on. I'm taking a right on a street called Going Street, which is the main east-west route for bike commuters. You can go north on the east side, actually in North Portland, from downtown, and then head east on Going Street, which the bikers coming up in front of us are doing.
All charged and ready to go.
Heading back further to the east side, going home after work. So it's definitely a commuter street, but not so much for cars. Of course, cars are allowed, but that's another unique feature about Portland is the number of bikers out and about, including people who ride to work. As you're thinking about moving into the Portland area, and you might consider the area around Alberta Street, I wanted to put the houses into perspective for you. The average single-family sales price over the past 12 months is right around $700,000. But to give you an idea of what actually is available, I wanted to let you know, on the cheaper end, the lower priced houses that sold over the past 12 months, if we were to drop out the bottom 5 sales out of the 55 houses that sold, you'd get to a price point of pretty close to $520,000. At the upper end, if we were to ignore the top 5 sales, with the highest price home sale being $1.225 million, you arrive at a price point of around $940,000. On the lower end, most of the houses range from about 1,400 square feet up to about 2,300 square feet. A lot of those are 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Some are 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom homes. At the upper end of the range of what sold over the past year, most of those houses range from about 2,400 square feet up to about 2,900 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms, even 3.5 bathrooms are what sold in that range. So, as always, remember to call us if you have any questions about living in Portland or moving to Portland, Oregon. We'd be happy to help you out. Call me anytime. I'm John McPherson. I'm a real estate broker here in Portland. I'm going to cover some more neighborhoods coming up in some future videos. Give me a call anytime.